Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Have you ever wondered how a seemingly impossible, physics-defying miracle on ice could actually translate into a masterclass for dominating your everyday workflow? Well, today we're taking a logic-breaking athletic anomaly and we're going to reverse engineer it into a highly repeatable system that you can use right at your desk.
Now, I know it sounds like a bit of a stretch at first, but bear with me here. We are going to deconstruct a literal kinetic miracle, completely strip it down to its studs, and uncover the universal systems hiding right underneath it all. We'll start with the most extreme feat in figure skating history, and by the end, we'll end up right back at your keyboard.
So, to set the stage, let's look at the facts. On September 14th, 2022, Ilia Malinin became the first skater to land a quadruple axel in competition. Because the axle takes off forward, the quadruple axle requires 4.5 rotations. That jaw-dropping achievement, it wasn't magic. You know, when you witness something like this, it's so easy to just chalk it up to pure luck or superhuman talent. But physics tells a completely different, meticulously engineered story.
The secret to pulling this off lies in incredibly strict constraints. The fundamental challenge here is something called the kinetic pivot. Imagine aggressively blocking your forward momentum and just instantly exploding upward. This demands a strict forward takeoff and an extreme rotational velocity of over 450 RPM. So yeah, there is absolutely zero room for error. This isn't just a lucky leap. We're looking at a deliberate, phased system that moves systematically through the approach, takeoff, flight, and landing. And actually, just a quick aside, the tension curve you're seeing here is purely a conceptual illustration to help us visualize these phases, rather than raw empirical data. But it perfectly highlights how deliberate coordination will beat momentary luck every single time. Now, when we look at the science, we really have to be precise with our language. A 2025 kinematic study examined two world-class skaters who attempted the quadruple axel in competition. Both produced greater vertical heights in their foray attempts than in their own triple axel attempts. One foray was successful and the other was downgraded. Because the study examined only two skaters, its findings should not be generalized to every skater. We simply can't call greater height a universal requirement just yet. But what this research by Hirasawa and colleagues definitely does do is ground our understanding of the brutal kinematic demands required for success. Just to pull this off, you need to stay in the air for a minimum of 0.80 seconds. It really forces us to look past the glitz and glamour and examine the raw, measurable variables that dictate success or failure while hanging in midair. And this is exactly where physics meets statistical process control. Think of the skater's center of gravity as the spatial mean. It has to lock dead center in midair. The moment of inertia, that's your standard deviation. By using an instantaneous quick snap technique to violently pull their arms and legs in tight against their body, the skater drives that physical variance to near zero. It's literally like a spinning top perfectly balancing on a pinhead. So to truly understand mastery, we can't just look at one jump. We have to map out candidate variables for repeated attempt analysis. Just to be absolutely clear, what we're looking at is a conceptual measurement framework, not reported data about Malinin. But statistical measures only actually mean something when we systematically track the exact same variables, like, say, axis tilt or body position, over and over and over again.
You see, there is a massive difference between a one-off success hidden inside a bunch of high variability and true systematic reliability across repeated attempts. A lucky shot hitting the bullseye once is just chance. The hidden variables are completely out of control. True reliability means hunting down those unstable variables and systematically reducing the meaningless deviation so that the performance becomes highly repeatable. And here is the absolute game changer. Uncontrolled variables cause crashes in every single system, whether it's physical or intellectual. Whether you're stabilizing your timing during piano practice, structuring your syntax to kill off bugs in your code, or wrangling a bunch of scattered ideas in your own knowledge work, it is all, at its core, just variation control.
But let's be absolutely clear about something. We don't control variation to become robotic. No way. We systematically eliminate meaningless variation, like the chaos of a blank page, a physical wobble, or a technical glitch, specifically to fiercely protect our meaningful freedom. We kill the technical noise so we can clear the stage for true human expression, flow, and strategic choice.
In modern knowledge work, this is exactly where AI steps in as your structural partner. Now,
It doesn't do the work for you, and it certainly doesn't automatically eliminate all variation for us, but it acts as a massive filter. It can rapidly help organize an outline, dramatically reducing the meaningless, paralyzing variation of just staring at a blank screen.
But remember, AI is essentially just a mirror for our thoughts. Authentic controllability strictly requires human ownership. You are the one who determines the meaning, applies the corrections, and steers the ultimate direction of the work. A practice only becomes truly reliable because you, the human, are at the wheel.
You aren't building a rigid robotic system here. You're building an adaptive one. Adaptive reliability is stable enough to continue and flexible enough to respond to meaningful variation. It's your human capacity to shape your own thinking and learning through practice driven by actual purpose, rather than just artificial pressure.
So, what does the architecture of modern reliability look like? Well, it's an intersection. AI can help build the structure by reducing the noise and organizing concepts. Human practice makes it reliable by actively controlling the variation. But most importantly, human meaning makes it yours by providing ownership. I want to leave you with this final thought as you navigate the chaos of your own work. Reliability is not the absence of variation. Reliability is the control of meaningful variation. So the next time you sit down to tackle a big project, ask yourself, are you controlling your variables or are they controlling you?